Hey, I'm Cameron.
And I'm Christian.
And we want to wish you a Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Holidays. Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Dadgummit. I thought we had that one sorted. Didn't know you were going to go all political war on Christmas on me, Christian.
I looked into your eyes. I knew I was going to get it wrong immediately.
Well, what are we watching today, Christian?
In celebration of the Christmas spirit, we're watching
Holiday season.
You're going to do that every time?
I don't know.
We're watching the movie that invented Christmas.
Yes, truly a Christmas classic.
That I have not seen.
Written by Charles Dickens, did you know?
No way.
Yeah. This was his first draft of A Christmas Carol.
So this is before Christmas was invented.
Yeah. That's right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Christmas was invented in 1832 by Charles Dickens, and he wrote this before that.
Sweet.
Yeah. And he actually, and this is the crazy thing, had Bruce Willis in mind for the role back when he wrote it.
Bruce Willis, you dog.
Yeah. So have you seen Die Hard before?
No.
Okay.
You haven't either, right?
No, I have.
You have.
I only seen it one time, and it was a couple years back. I thought it'd be a pretty good one for us to watch this time since,
I've been meaning to watch this movie for like 11 years.
Yeah?
The only way I know Die Hard is it's referenced in The Office a million times.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of sequels on Hulu that look like they cannot be good. They're like just have weird names like Die Harder or like the Die Hardening or something like that.
Death Soft, that was a good one.
Sounds like I had a budget of $10.
Live Lightly.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Hallmark Christmas movie where they were trying to make a movie to compete with Die Hard is what that sounds like. Live Softly.
Bruce Willis probably has a billion lookalikes that are be perfect for that.
Yeah, that's true. So now, okay, so I was joking about the Charles Dickens things before, but did you know that the hiring of Bruce Willis for this movie was actually a big old controversial thing? And not controversial, but it took him a long time to land on Bruce Willis.
He was a nobody before this, right?
No, even worse. He was considered a comedic actor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so he was just considered to be a comedian. So it's kind of like the Heath Ledger thing with The Dark Knight. The studio did not want to hire Bruce Willis for this movie because he was supposed to be too funny for a hard role like this.
That's hard to believe, honestly.
Yeah. They because he was just seen as funny, and now of course he's known as it's Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis.
Even though he hasn't really been in that much stuff.
Yeah, he's been in, of course, Die Hard, the whole Die Hard series.
And Pulp Fiction.
He's
got a bunch of movies now that are just, not released in theaters. Just awful action movies.
Really?
Yeah, they're really, really funny.
But they're not trying to be?
No, there's stuff like your uncle would recommend to you and be like, I saw this on Netflix or they're just pumping them out. Yeah.
They're like Adam Sandler movies.
Adam Sandler, if he was like an action star.
Yeah. If Adam Sandler was an action star, he'd be Bruce Willis, is what you're saying. I haven't seen these, so I don't know. If that was insulting to someone out there, I don't care.
I really wish I gave a crap.
I tried to give a crap, but I just don't.
That kid's 13 years old.
Yeah, I don't know how he's driving a limo at all. I don't feel like he's allowed to.
That feels like a kid in Ned's Declassified. Remember Clara Sawyer, future lawyer? It's her brother, the limo driver.
That was such a blast to the past. You just took me back in time with that reference.
That was my first thought for some reason.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he is way too young to be driving a limo. He looks like he is actually part of another movie about a kid who's the son of a limo driver who decided to try and hijack his dad's limo. You know,
Bruce
like-
Willis could not give a crap.
he's like, sure, I'm sure he has a license.
He is not even given a glance in his direction. Honestly.
That's true. He just keeps looking forward. He's like, if I don't recognize him, if I don't look him in the eye, then I won't have to admit to an officer that I knew that he was underage to drive.
I was too much of a loose cannon for the force, so they sent me here.
I kept throwing out the book. I would ask him for the book, and then I'd throw it out the window.
They told me, we know your type.
We don't like your methods, but they couldn't argue with my results.
Yeah.
Gosh, listen to this new hip music.
Yeah.
Gosh, cutting edge. Yes. Yes. This is my new favorite Christmas song.
This is Christmas music. This counts, right?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I'm putting this in there with my Bing Crosby and Pentatonics list.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm just imagining us all Christmas morning, opening up presents, got the tree brightly lit and everything, and then that rap album coming on while we're opening
Just in the middle of the other Christmas, like Mariah Carey and pulling in the driveway.
All right, now that you mentioned the tip, I'm not giving it to you. That was manipulative, and I can't stand that crap. Tipping in this country is a really like it just
I don't believe in it.
I don't believe. In Europe they don't tip.
Yeah. I don't think it should be the responsibility of the citizen.
Kid just starts rolling his eyes. Ah!
He hasn't looked back. He looks back. He's all the way at the end of the driveway.
Have you ever noticed that Bruce Willis has this thing where he just has to do the middle school girl pouty face whenever he's looking at something?
I have not.
He does not the full on duck face. They're right there. Do you see it? He does.
Is that what you call that?
Well, just look at it. He has the little does his little pouty lips whenever he's just looking at something.
I feel like he just has a face that he's investigating something off in the distance, but he's not. It's just his face.
His eyes can't focus on anything except for what's in the middle distance.
Yeah.
He just needs glasses.
Is that his wife's boyfriend? Yeah.
Yep.
Knew it.
Yep.
This guy's the type of guy that just pick any restaurant you want, babe. It's on me. I got the best table. He
says into his Bluetooth headpiece when he's talking to her on the phone, loudly at the bank.
Make sure he doesn't even talk to her at all, but is always in a meeting.
Babe, I'm in a meeting right now.
Stop yapping in my ear, please.
She's like, oh, so hard boiled. I love being vaguely mistreated, but not over the line.
It's like a character from American Psycho. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That is
one of the
movie.
businessmen and the table.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just love that dynamic with all the businessmen just talking crap. They don't even work. They just talk crap at restaurants.
That's all
day
they
long.
do. A bunch of yuppies. My favorite scene from that movie is the card scene. He's sweating profusely.
The thickness of it. It even has a watermark.
He looks like the guy who's crying in the Emerald City from the Wizard of Oz, where they've just poured a bucket of water on top of him.
Nobody's gonna get that reference.
People have watched Wizard of Oz.
They're not gonna get that exact moment in that movie.
Okay, everybody, go and watch Wizard of Oz and watch the guy react to Dorothy's pathetic plight. And then go and watch the card scene.
And then
from
have
American
a little
Psycho.
mediocre laugh after that for the joke.
You will get a slight chuckle, I promise you. You might just blow air quickly out of your nose like this, but that's it. Because if there's an overlapping audience, it's definitely the overlapping audience between Die Hard, American Psycho, and Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. want a Venn diagram of that impact.
I'm in the middle of it. That's it.
We are
It's
right
just
in
me.
the center. Yeah. It just says us, and then it says everybody else. Repetition.
Whoops.
Movies really rely on the instinct that nobody's gonna knock at a door.
They really do. It's like really important to the plot. And movies that take place before the invention of the iPhone all rely on the fact that you can't communicate over a long distance.
Yeah.
Quickly. They also tend to rely on people never, ever, ever, ever having natural conversations all over the phone. Or, like, before a conversation is ended, someone comes in and interrupts it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or somebody finishing a conversation, and then after they, like, say something, like, really big, they just leave. They just dip.
Yep. I'm going to start doing that in my marriage. I'm just going to, just say something deep or whatever, revealing.
Just have the best clap back, and then
just walk away.
Walk away.
I'm sure that'll be healthy.
As if that's not insanely rude.
Okay, how does that guy not already know that dude is a bad guy? Look at him.
Who is that guy?
There's three guys.
That guy right there.
I don't know. He looks familiar.
He looks insanely familiar.
Yeah. Gosh, golly, that's not the guy from Walker, Texas Ranger, is it?
Don't you dare.
Am I wrong?
If you're right. Trevette? Are you talking about Trevette?
Is that Trevette? This dude right here with the long blonde hair was created in a lab to play a bad guy goon. Not a bad guy leader, just a goon.
That's him.
Is it really
Trevette?
Yes! Yes.
I'm disappointed. I didn't even realize that.
That is amazing. Guys, just so you know, to give you a little insight into how we grew up by watching Walker, Texas Ranger, every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. while we were eating dinner. Not because it was good.
Because it wasn't.
But because it wasn't. Frankly, that might be the origins of why you're watching this YouTube channel now.
Yeah.
It's because we would just sit around and roast whatever episode of Walker we were watching.
Yeah.
Which means that the actor who plays Trevette has been clowned by us for our entire lifetime.
I guess he had a big drop point, because it seems like a pretty big role.
Maybe he just retired. You never know. Do you hear the music?
Yeah.
They're playing a Christmas song right now, but an action version of it.
Which one?
Da 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 da.
That wasn't even an action version of it. That was just... That was the same version.
It was like a stealthy version of it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, for the record, in the past, I have worked in carpet cleaning, and there is literally nothing worse than carpet in a bathroom. I do encounter it, and it is terrible to clean. Just saying.
Good input. Thank you so much.
Listen, people tune in to hear our heartfelt, interesting commentary. And if people don't want to know what it's like to clean up a carpet bathroom, I don't know what they would want.
Anything else, probably. Argon! Hey! Probably 1,000 bought Funko Pops of this character. I guarantee he's a fan favorite.
Well, there's probably not 1,000. There's probably a limited number, and it's worth $3,000 to get an Argyle from
You
Die
can only
Hard.
buy it at Walgreens.
Between Q3 and Q4.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was talking about how they didn't want to cast Bruce Willis in this, so here's an interesting little tidbit, right? This movie is actually based off of a book called Detective. Okay? It's a sequel to another book I can't remember. Nothing Lasts Forever. in the original, there is a movie called Detective that's based off of that book, where Frank Sinatra plays the detective, the main guy.
Okay.
So the guy who almost beat out Bruce Willis for this role was Frank Sinatra.
How old was he?
Not young.
I didn't even know is he an actor?
He's acted in a couple of small things. But like
I feel like that decision changed the course of history as we know it.
I know, like
It has affected everything.
it's completely diverged, like
Yeah.
this guy looks like a really boring Presbyterian pastor.
This guy's just trying to threaten everyone. Everybody's falling asleep.
Like, oh, hymn book for chapter 34.
Yeah.
See, he's singing a Christmas song too.
I knew this was going to be one of those movies where it just constantly feels the need to remind you that it's Christmas.
Hey guys, it's Christmas. Don't forget it's Christmas time. Okay, so what counts as a Christmas movie?
Be more specific.
Does Iron Man 3 count as a Christmas movie?
Vaguely.
Vaguely. So you have a pretty wide interpretation of what is a Christmas movie and what isn't.
I'd say if it's set in Christmas and like it has like a bunch of Christmas season type of stuff in it, I'd say it kind of counts.
Okay.
I'd watch it during Christmas.
Okay. So, because a lot of people would say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
I would agree with that, but I'd also agree if they say that it was.
Yeah. I count it as a Christmas movie and, all of my organizational stuff. Obviously, we're watching it around Christmas time, but
Yeah.
a lot of people feel pretty passionately about what constitutes and what doesn't. So a lot of people would say just because it's set during Christmas isn't actually a Christmas movie. But, I'm like, you got a lot of diversity in what a Christmas movie can be. Just like you have a lot of diversity in what a Christmas music can be,
Yeah.
If you want to listen to your Christmas rap album, then you can go right ahead. Just keep look at that guy with the long blonde hair in the background. I can't get over. He looks like he hatched out of an egg with an AR-15 in his hands.
I feel like he is the like quintessential like pretty boy that doesn't ever have any speaking lines.
Yep. All he does is lift, bro.
Yeah.
You're definitely terrorists by any margin,
You're one of the first results if somebody looks up movie terrorist, probably.
Yeah, I would bet if you Google movie terrorist that dude's face shows up, as the third option.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm looking it up. All right, it's 4 options down, 5 across.
What?
Die Hard is 4 options down, 5 across. When you look up movie terrorists.
Just the movie Die Hard?
Yep, just the movie Die Hard.
It seems like a movie just about terrorists.
Hey everyone, it's Cam here. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Die Hard commentary. Part 2 of the commentary is going to be out next week, and Part 3 is going to be out the week after that. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can keep up with all of our content. Thanks a bundle, and Merry Christmas! You know what to do.
And if you don't, ask someone.